Yeah. Here, yesterday, we discussed all basic part of our programming, what all topics we have in UI and each topic brief information and each topic related real-time example I explained. Here, now I'll show you how to install Visual Studio Code, how to write our first program in this VS Code. How to write, I'm explaining here first topic of our course, that is here first topic of our content here, HTML4. First of all, how to install Visual Studio Code is one IDE. How to write our first program in HTML4, I'll show. Here, yesterday we discussed here introduction part of UI. And after that, I mentioned all the list of topics, what I'll cover. Starting, I'll cover HTML4. Second topic, few days, here 1 week to 10 days, I'll continue on the CSS2. Third topic, around 20 hours I'll sit for. Here, I'll sit for JavaScript classes. Here. Then fourth one here, HTML5. I'll continue on HTML5. Then fifth topic here, CSS3. Sixth one here, jQuery. Here, seventh one will be here, Ajax. Here, eighth one will be here, less and SAS programming. Here, less and SAS. Yes. Here, less and SAS. Here, ninth one, I'll go for responsive design. Here only you can find it here, responsive design. Next, I'll go for 10th topic here, bootstrap. Here, 11th one here, project. 12th one here, exam. So this is my order of teaching. This will take 2 months of duration. Duration will be here 2 months. So here, next I'll go for here. Here, in this time, HTML is creating basic structure for our application. Basic skeleton structure for our application, we can create it with this HTML. So now, let me save 7th August 2024 at 9 p.m. at demo. Sorry, it is regular session. Here. Yes. Here at session 1. I'll save it like session 1. Demos completed. It is session 1. Here, this is here web UI. In this UI, here I'm going to teach how to write our programming in this VS Code. Here, to write our programs, we can normally write our programs in Notepad. We can execute it by browser. Normally, we can write our programs. Here, we can write our programs in browser. We can execute it. We can write it in Notepad. We can execute it through browser. Here, I'm going with the IDE. Here, normally you can write it in Notepad, but if I use IDE here, IDE here, we have to go. We can find so many IDEs to write our web UI programmings. Here, first one here, widely used one, VS Code. Visual Studio Code will use it as our IDE. Like this, you can find Atom, Brackets, NetBeans, Eclipse, IntelliJ, Dreamweaver, WebStorm, WebSphere. Like that, we have so many IDEs to develop our application. Here, VS Code is one IDE to develop our application. So here, you can search it in Google for this VS Code. Here, by that, you can find VS Code setup file. Here, setup.exe file, you can find it. Here, setup file, under this, here, if you double click on it, it will be installed in our system. So once you double click on it, here, go to the Google. First go to the Google, search for VS Code. Here, go to the, here I'm going to the Google. Here, search for VS Code, enter. So by this, you can find it here. Here, this is one VS Code. Here, once you click download option here, that Visual Studio Code will be downloaded in our system. Here, once you click download option, see here, you can find that Visual Studio .setup file. This is one setup file. We can download it from the Google. After this, after downloading this, just if you double click on it, it will open it in our program. See here, if you double click on it, it will see. I'll show you that execution part. Here, once you click, I'll show you that. Yeah. So let me add this one. Here, one more time, share screen, the studio setup. Yeah. See here, you can find this type of output. Here, license, accept terms and condition. Just click on next. Click on next. See, it is asking you to install it. Here, this way, if you click on install button, see, this is what Visual Studio Code setup file. If you double click on it, couple of next steps it will ask you. Finally, it will be installed in your system. Once it is installed in our system, automatically you can run your program. Here, go to the computer start button, search for VS Code. In this VS Code, here you can find file, open, folder option will be there. Here, go to the computer start button, search for VS Code, enter. So by this, you can see here that Visual Studio Code will be opened in our system. See, here only you can find it. Here one more time, click it. Here, Visual Studio Code is opened in our system. Once this Visual Studio Code is opened in our system, see here we have computer start button, search for VS Code, you can find it, file, open folder. Under this open folder, you can select your own folder for our application. So first go to the VS Code, file, open folder. By this, I can able to open my folder for my program. Here, I'm going to create one new folder for our batch, that is 9 p.m. August 2024 at UI. Here, I'm creating one separate batch for our project development. Just select that folder. One second. So here we are going to see that VS Code. Here in this time, you can see here file, open folder. Here file, open folder. I created one 9 p.m. folder for our batch, August batch. Just click on select button. See, August batch is opened. Under this, I have two options. One is new file, another one new folder. Here, once you click on new folder, here only you can create one HTML4 folder. Under this, I'm creating here HTML program. So I'm creating here HTML program. Under this, I'm writing here doc type. Standard code of HTML will be doc type HTML start and close, head start and close, and body start and close. Head and body tag you can show for our application. Head tag is used to write header information. Body tag is used to write body part of our application. Here, head and body tag we can show for our application. Script tag I'm using here to write my JavaScript code. Style tag I use it here to write a CSS code. Here I'm writing here head and body for my application like this. Under this, just I'll write welcome to HTML. Now, if I run this program, you can see this execution of the code here. Here you can see that execution of my program. Okay, with this welcome message. To execute this program, see what I explained here. First, go to the Google, search for VS Code. After a couple of next clicks, it will be installed in your system. So once it is installed in our system, you can create your own folder. I created 9 PM folder for our batch. Under this, I created HTML4 folder for our application development. Under this, I'm going to create 1.html program. Under this 1.html program, I created 1.html program. Under this 1.html program, we can write it here, doc type HTML. Here only you can see here HTML start and close. Here only you can find it here, head start and close and body start and close. Head and body tag we can show for our program like this. Under this head section, we can write it here, welcome to HTML content, we can write like this. After this, if you want to execute this program, in VS Code only, we have to search for extensions. Under this extension, you can find it here, live server. Live server is one extension. So just you have to click on install button. So once you click on install button of live server automatically installed in our system. So once you click on the live server install button, so automatically live server will be installed in our system. Okay. Here, go to the extension, search for VS Code, then you can find it here, live server. So by this, live server will be installed in our system. Once this live server is installed in our system, you can go to your VS Code 1.html program, then right click on it. Right click on the program. There you can find open with live server. Live server option will be there. Open with live server option will be there. So because of this, your program will be opened in the live server. Automatically, what is your default browser? In that browser, it will open your program output. Here I am explaining here. VS Code, go to the extension. There you can find live server. Automatically, live server will be installed in our system. So once that live server is installed in our system, then go to our 1.html program, right click on the program. You can find it here, open with live server. By this, you can directly open your file with a live server. Directly, you can open your program with a live server. See here. You can open your program with a live server like this. Okay, see execution, right? Go to the extensions, search for live server. Here, live server. See, it is like this. You have to click on install button. It will show you install button like this. After installation, it will show you setting button. If you double click it, see, you can find disable and uninstall button here. See, under this only, you can right click here, open with live server. So once you click on this, open with live server, your program automatically opens in the live server. See, once you click on it, you can see that execution of this code here with the live server. You can see that execution of my code will be with the live server. Here, that way only we can execute our code. Here, I'm able to execute my program. Here, if I run my program, see here. Welcome to HTML, I'm able to print it like this. Here, welcome to HTML. This is when you open your program by live server, execution of the program will done in your default browser in this URL. This is what total way of writing our first program and execution of our first program in Visual Studio Code. We can write HTML programs directly in Notepad. You can execute it by browser. It will work. But present environment, present development is looking for, here VS Code they are using like IDE. IDE here it is a integrated development environment. IDE here it is a integrated development environment which will be helpful to write our output. Here it is an integrated development environment. This will be helpful to design our application with the IDE. Here, IDE here, it is easy way of development. Whenever you write the starting tag, automatically it will give closing tag. And when you write the attribute, that property of attributes, value of the attribute, automatically it will give. So when you start typing it, automatically that related, keyword related, all values, it will print it. So that is the advantage. Okay, so that's why Java students will use Eclipse. .NET students will use their .NET framework, .NET IDE, Microsoft IDE, and Python students will use their Python IDE. So every development time, we will use that development related special IDE, will use it to develop our application. Here, we are learning here how to install Visual Studio Code in our system. How to run our programs by Visual Studio Code, I'm explaining here. How to write our programs by Visual Studio Code, how to run our programs by Visual Studio Code, we learn like this. Okay, here in this time, Visual Studio Code is one extension. Because of that, we can easily write, easily execute our programs. Easily we can write our programs, we can execute our programs with this VS. Here I'm going for here first topic of our codes. See, I already started open folder. This is my workspace. I created 9 p.m. Select that folder. After loading it, I created one subfolder HTML4. Under this, I created 1.html. In this 1.html, I wrote my total code like this. After this, when you right click here, open with live server. By that, your program automatically opens in the live server like this. This way of execution you can find for our output. Now, right click, open with live server. See, this is the execution. Another way of execution here, where I created my folder, I'll go to that location, go to HTML, just double click here. See, here I'm able to see welcome to HTML. Here also I'm able to see welcome to HTML. Difference between here and here. See, here it is live server. Because of live server, you will get all live server execution will be like this. Here, this is just I opened my file with the browser. Just I opened my file with the browser. So that's why it is giving output like this. Okay, it is giving output like this. See, normally you can open your file with the browser. Another way here, directly you can open your program by live server. So both ways you can execute your program. Okay. So now here both ways I executed my program. And here now I'll start here HTML4. First HTML4. HTML is a hypertext markup language. First topic here HTML4. HTML is a hypertext markup language. Here it is a tag-based programming. Markup means here it is a tag-based programming. Here tag is nothing but it's an instruction to the browser. Here instruction to browser, we call it as tags. Here these tags, generally we have two types of tags we have. One is where tag. Second one is here unpaired tag. We have two types of tags. We have one is paired tag, another one unpaired tag. Under this HTML, we are learning here paired tags. These paired tags are here. Whenever you write the starting tag, definitely you need to close the tag like this. This one we call it as paired tag. If you want to write Java application, we will follow the Java instructions. Here, we are writing here HTML application, so we have to follow that HTML instructions. Okay. Yeah. Here we are following HTML instructions here. Here that HTML instructions we can able to follow by tags. HTML is a tag based programming. Tag is nothing but it's an instruction to the browser. Example here, body tag, starting tag and ending tag. This is paired tag. Similar way, HTML, starting tag, ending tag. HTML. Head tag, starting tag, ending tag. Here, you can write style tag. Here, style starting, style ending. Then script tag, script starting, script ending. H1 to H6. H1 tag, H2 tag, like this, H6 tags, we use it here to write all different headings for our application. P tag is used to display paragraph content for our application. P tag I'm using here to display paragraph content. H1 to H6 we use it here to display headings for our application. Okay, like this we have div tag. See, division of the web page is by div tag. Like this we have some list of tags, etc., etc. All comes under pair tags. Pair here, I'm not deciding these list is pair, these list is unpair. I'm not deciding. This is not our own defined tags. These tags are already defined in the browser. So because of browser only, we are learning these all tags. The browser is already created with all the supportive tags. Those supportive tags, which is pair, which is unpair, we are learning here. Which is pair, which is unpair, we are learning here. So here I'm explaining here HTML tags. Here pair tags and unpair tags we have. Pair here it is the starting tag, ending tag. Here unpair tag. Two types of tags we can write it under HTML. One is pair, another one unpair. Here now in this time, here I'm explaining here pair tags and unpair tags. Here under this pair tag, how can we write our output we observed here. Second category of tags are here unpaired tags. These unpaired tags are here. Tag name whenever we write it will close the tag there itself. Example for this here image SRC is used to display images, self-closing tag. BR tag, self-closing tag. HR tag, self-closing tag. Input element, input type text, input type button, input type radio, all are self-closing tags. Here like this, some list of tags all comes under unpaired tags. We are learning here list of paired tags. We are learning here list of unpaired tags. So one by one, we will implement it in our program. Here one by one, all the list of tags, we will write it and how to execute it, we will check it in this. Here I'm explaining here paired tags and unpaired tags. Here one category of instructions we can write like this. Suppose if you want to write your program in C language, how will write? Suppose if I want to write 1.c. Here starting instruction will be include stdio.h. Here only you can find void main or int main. Under this we'll write printf. Under this we will write it here hello to C. Like this we can write it here all our output. Here this way we will write our C program. For this, we can compile our program. We will execute our program. We are compiling our program and we are executing our program with this C. Similar way, I can write it here 1.cpp, C++. For this, we can write it here hash include iostream.h. Under this, we can write it here class followed by class name. Here only we can write void main or int main. Under this only we will write it here cout. Cout, here only you can write it here hello to JS, hello to CPP we are writing. Here, this is object-oriented programming. We are following that object-oriented rules with a class name. So every programming language following its own style of writing, its own headers, its own library style. Same way, when you write your program by HTML, we have to follow that HTML instructions. That HTML instructions, we will write it in the form of tags. These tags are two types. One is paired, another one unpaired. Okay, so now we'll go for writing of our pair tags. HTML start and close is a pair. Head start and close is a pair. Body start and close is a pair. Script start and close is a pair. Style start and close is a pair. Like this, we can write it here all the list of pair tags. Here, like this only, we will write it here all the list of pair tags. Pair tags, we generally use it here to write that content in our application. Here, we are able to see that output for our application by using this pair tags. Here, so I'll show you that list of H1 to H6, how to write it. H1 tag will show you bigger size heading for us. Like this, we can write it here. H1 to H6, we'll use it as heading tags. Here, H1 to H6, we'll use it as heading tags. H1 tag, H2 tag, H3 tag. Like this, we can write it here. H1 to H6, all comes under heading tags. So here only you can find it here, H1. Here it is heading 1. Like this, they will find it here, all heading tags. H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. H1 to H6, all heading tags, we can write it like this. H3, H4. Here only you can find H5, then H6. H1 to H6 tags, we can write it like this. And similar way, we can write paragraph tag to display paragraph content. Content, you no need to type like this. You can write lorem is one keyword. If you write lorem 2 words, it will write. If you write here lorem 4 words, it will write. Here, if you write lorem 10, see here, 10 words of content, it will display like this. Here it is displaying here 10 words of content. Here 10 words of content for our application. We can display to the user by dummy content. You can write it by lorem keyword. See here now execute my program here. See, I'm executing my program here. Now I'm executing normally by browser and live server. Both the ways I can execute it. Here, normally by browser, live server execution time, that program H1 to H6 is displaying like this. And paragraph content, save the program. See, paragraph content also, it is displaying like this. H1 is very big size. H6 is very smaller size. Here, H1 to H6, all sizes of headings will display like this. Next, we are going for here, this one. Normal browser execution, just refresh. See here, you can see that execution of the code will be like this. H1, bigger size heading, H6, smaller size heading. And this is what here, paragraph content. Okay, see these all sizes and how it has to display, these all already returned in the CSS. See here, if you right click, inspect element on this, see here. If you right click, inspect element on this, font size to EM. 2 EM is the font size for H1. For H2, 1.5 EM. For H3, 1.17 EM. For H4, no font size. For H5, 0.83 EM. H6, 0.67 EM. This way, we can write all our output for our application. H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. This way, it will display that output for our application. H1 is the bigger size heading. H6 is the smaller size heading. This way only we can execute our output for our application. P tag is used to display paragraph content for our application. P tag generally we used to display paragraph content for our application. Okay, so this is the way generally we will write all HTML tags. Here, these all list of pair tags and that defined sizes, defined CSS we have for every tag. See, if you don't write any content, see, if you don't write any tag for my program, how the output will be displayed? No. Here, how the content will be displayed, you can check. Here, there is no CSS for this content. If you write a content directly like this within double quotes, there is no content. Here, you can find it here, content. Here, you can display here H1, it is the bigger size content. H4, H5, H6, you can display here. H6 is the smaller size content. So this way of development we can show for our application. This is possible by here heading tags. Heading tags for our application, we are displaying here H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. All are different headings for our application. We will display like this. H1 to H6, we will display like this. Okay, so this is the way we can execute our output. This is possible by H1 to H6, all heading tags for our program. Heading tags for our program. Paragraph tag, there is no fixed font size, but it is applying margin for this. This is the way generally we will write H1 to H6, all paragraph contents and all other contents we are displaying like this. This is what about the here, this is what about the totally content for our application. We can display like this. Here, up to now, I explained here how to write Visual Studio Code, how to write our programs with a Visual Studio Code. Here, H1 to H6, those all predefined sizes. Here, H1, it is displaying here a bigger size font size. See here, if you write H1 tag, by default, font size of H1 tag here. Here, if you write H1 start and close, by default, every tag has its own CSS. 2 EM is the size. H2, if you write it here. H2, if you write it here, that font size will be here. Font size of H2 will be 1.5 EM. H3, here if you check it here, H3, that font size will be here. Font size of 1.17 EM. 1.17 EM is the font size of H3. Similar way, H4. For H4, no font size. This is the default font size given by the browser. Here, H6, if you check, H5, if you check it here, that font size of here 0.83 EM is the size. H6, that font size will be here. By default, it is given by the browser only. Here, 0.67 EM. Like this, these all sizes for all heading tags. These all are the sizes for heading tag. I'm displaying here heading tags for my program. That heading tag we can display by our program H1 to H6. Paragraph content, all we are displaying like this. H1 will show you bigger size heading. H6 will show you smaller size heading for our application. Here, these sizes all are like this. Other than this font sizes and margin padding, all other effects also it is affecting for my program. Other effects also affecting for my program. H1 to H6 will display, paragraph content will be displayed, and all other outputs also we can display for our program like this. This is the way we can execute our output. H1 to H6 paragraph, all contents for our program we can display like this. Okay, here H1 tag will display here bigger size heading for us. H6 tag will show you smaller size heading for my application. Here, paragraph content, we will write it here like this. This is mainly used to display paragraph. It is applying only margin padding for this. Up to now, is it clear? Any doubt in this? How to write paid tags in the program, I explained up to now. How to install Visual Studio Code, how to configure our first program, how to run our program in 2 different ways, and how we can use this heading tags under paid tags. Is it clear for you? Yes, please.
Got it, ma'am.
Got it. Okay. Here, paragraphs, headings, all we discussed here. Div tag, if you write it here, div tag also use it to display division of the web page. Here, div tag, we use it to display here division of the web page. Clear. Okay. Here, division of a web page, we can do it by div tag. See, but by writing div tag, you cannot show any here tag for this. See here, if you write only div tag, here it won't dividing my page into 2 parts or 3 parts. See, here if you check that execution, see, you cannot see any division here. Just how the paragraph is displaying, same way div tag also displaying for my program. If you check it here, see here, this is div tag. This div tag is just displaying my program here, display block. Here, when I display block, when I display my program here, this is div tag, this is paragraph tag. Here, these all are heading tags. H1 to H6, all headings will display like this. Here it is message. So this is the way generally will display all our output. Heading tags are here H1 to H6. Paragraph tag here like this. And then div tag is used to display division. So this is whole about the application with the pair tags. This is totally about the application development with all pair tags. Next, we can write it here, unpaired tags for my program. Here, I am explaining here paired tags for my program. Paired tag here, whenever you write the starting tag, you have to write closing tag. That is only paired tag. Div tag is not dividing my page into multiple parts. But if you check any website, every part, see here, this is top menu bar. This is left side content. This is one more image. Here, this total division of the web page is completely by div tag. See here, div main, div navbar fixed. See navbar fixed. This is fixed navbar, top one. Here, div tag updated banner. Here, div tag container, div tag tab. See, every division of the web page is by div tag. Every division part of the web page we are developing by div tag. Okay, division of the web page we are doing here. This is header, footer, navbar, everything we are doing here. Here, this is one footer content. Here, all we are displaying here because of this header, footer, navbar, everything it is by div tag. Div tag we are using here to display that division of the web page. So every web page division, we can do it by this div tag. Here, up to now, we discussed here how to write div tag for our application, how to align our content left and right. These all comes under this program. Here, today we started our first topic of our course, that is HTML4. In that, first I explained how to install Visual Studio Code, how to configure our program with the Visual Studio Code, how to execute our program with the Visual Studio Code, I explained. And everyday classes I'm uploading in OneDrive. I created one 9 p.m. drive for you. Just like this only, I created one 9 p.m. drive for you. And yesterday and day before yesterday, all recordings I uploaded there. And course content here, course content, HTML4 document and paint files, programs. Here program today we completed. These all I'll upload it in that drive. See, just like this, I created one drive. Here in this, in this particular drive, this class related all files I'm uploading. Here recordings folder, every class recording folder I'm uploading here. Programs folder, every class programs I'm uploading here. Paint file here, every class paint files I'm uploading here. Here documents, every class related documents I uploaded here. Here it is only course content and HTML4 document. Course content and HTML4 document only uploaded here. Okay, like this I already created one 9 p.m. folder. And we completed 3 sessions by today. Okay. First 2 sessions are demonstration. Today's session is the continuation part of my programming. Okay. So who are interested to continue my class? Let me get your mail ID from organizer. So by that I can communicate with you. Okay. I'll share my mail ID with you. Here I can share my mail ID with you. So you can contact me in that mail. Second. Here, you can contact me in that mail. Yeah. I will be communicate with you in the mail. So who are interested to continue my class, so complete your registration and come tomorrow class. Up to now, if you have any doubt, you can ask this.
Hello, ma. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Good evening, ma. My name is Anthony, ma.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. I have challenge with my previous deployment. The last project we did, I'm stuck. I couldn't deploy it. I'm having challenge in deploying the project. I don't know how you can help me out, ma, please.
You can contact me in my mail. You already attended my previous batch, right? Previous
Yes,
batch
ma.
questions I can't discuss here. This is new batch. Okay, you can ask me in the mail. So by that I can communicate with you.
Okay. Thank you, ma.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
That's it for today. Any other doubts? Yes, please. Remaining students.
मैम ये डेमो मैम कितने सेशन तक जाएगा?
Sorry.
मैम ये डेमो सेशन मैम आज से स्टार्ट हो गई ना क्लास?
Today we started. Demos completed.
Okay मैम I paid my registered myself.
But I didn't got your mail ID. Tomorrow I'll get your mail ID morning. Then I'll share my drive with you.
Okay ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Remaining students, complete your registration and come tomorrow class. Then I'll share my drive access to you. Thank you.